Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to be explaining how to complete assignment 12, Exploring Canada Opinion Essay. So what you're going to have to do in this assignment is take all the information that you use to create your slideshow presentation and you're going to turn that into an opinion essay. So this is an important skill to develop. Opinion essays are a big part of ESL D and E. You are going to need them to complete your literacy test, and once you complete ESL and go into English, they are going to become much more important. So the goal here is to get you a little bit more comfortable with this format using ideas that you're already familiar with. All right, so the opinion essay, as we write it in high school, is typically 5 paragraphs. You have an intro paragraph, you have 3 body paragraphs, and then you have a concluding paragraph. So you saw that already in your mini opinion essay, and we are going to continue with this format with your essay about your province. So I've made it a little bit easier for you to write your intro paragraph in that I've already included some words for you, just like we did with the folktale mini opinion essay. So you just need to fill in the blanks. And I've done that with my example here for you to hopefully make it a little bit easier for you to understand what you need to do. Okay, so there are many interesting places in the world to visit, but if you are in Canada, and then you can just write your province in here, would be a good choice. There are 3 reasons why whatever your province is or territory is would be a good place to visit. Okay, and then you're just going to list the 3 reasons that you've chosen. So the beautiful or amazing outdoor environments, or however you want to word that. Maybe if it's not so important that they're beautiful, but maybe there are other things about the outdoor environments that are amazing, you can change the sentence. Here's the indoor activities in cities and towns, and then here's the cultural events. So the introductory paragraph really is just explaining what the essay is going to talk about. When you get into ESL D, the format of this paragraph is going to change a little bit, but the purpose will be much the same. The purpose is to introduce the idea and get the reader to understand what it is you're going to be talking about in the essay. Okay, so then we're going to get into body paragraphs, which follow the usual paragraph format we've looked at. We have a topic sentence, we have supporting details, and then we have a concluding sentence. So all of your body paragraphs will take this format. So my topic sentence here, Ontario's outdoor environments are a wonder to behold and are well worth a visit. Okay, so this whole paragraph is going to support this idea. And again, this idea is linked to your first reason in your intro paragraph. So this is something that a few of you had difficulties with in the mini opinion essay, but it's supposed to be organized. The reason we get you to do this format is so that you have practice writing in an organized way. So you mention your 3 reasons here, and then those 3 reasons should match in your body paragraph. So your first reason here should match with your first topic sentence. Your second reason here should match with your topic sentence of the next body paragraph. So I haven't filled this one out. I've only filled out the first one to give you an example, but you would have your second one here. And then, of course, the third one goes with the third body paragraph. Okay, so the topic sentence here, I should say. So every reason that you put in your intro paragraph needs to have a topic sentence that matches it. And then you'll have a whole paragraph in which you try to show that that topic sentence, the statement that you made there, is correct. So this should be telling me why it's correct that Ontario's outdoor environments are wonderfully to behold and are well worth the visit. So I'm going to argue that. I'm going to put my 3 places that I used in my slideshow in here. And I'm going to use some of the research that I have in my slideshow. What you use in here does not need to be exactly the same as what's in your slideshow. I've used a little bit less information here than I did in my slideshow because my slideshow, when I created it, was fairly detailed for this section. And I didn't want to have too many supporting details. If you can have 1 or ideally probably 2 or 3 points for each section, then you're fine. So don't feel like details should just necessarily be 1 sentence. If you want to say a little bit more, feel free to add a second or third sentence. Just try not to add too many. If you have 4 or 5 sentences for each point, you probably have a little too much information. We don't want our paragraphs to be super, super long. Okay, so I'm going to pull out some of my details from my slideshow. So when I talked about Lake Superior Provincial Park, I talk about the actual beauty of the environment itself, so that we have these forests and we have these hills and that they overlook the lake. And then I'm going to mention, okay, yes, so you have the views, but you also have the activities and the artwork that you can see in this park. So again, all of these details are supporting point number 1. Lake Superior Provincial Park would be a good place to start. In other words, it would be a good place to start your visit. So why is it good to visit this place? Well, here are 3 reasons why. So my details support point 1. I'm telling you why this is a good place to visit, and point 1 supports the topic sentence, right? The topic sentence says Ontario has wonderful outdoor environments. Point 1, well, yes, it does. Here is one of those environments, Lake Superior Provincial Park. So point number 2 is about Niagara Falls, and point number 3 is about Blue Mountain. And again, I have details saying why these are good places to visit. We wrap up with a concluding sentence, which is similar to our topic sentence, and I'm going to restate this idea that Ontario has wonderful outdoor environments to visit, but I'm now going to remind our reader what we've just talked about, and I'm going to list those 3 places. So Lake Superior Provincial Park, Niagara Falls, and Blue Mountain are just a sample of the wonderful places where you can enjoy the great outdoors in Ontario. Period. So, you can see here, again, I've referred back to all 3 places, and I haven't exactly restated it. I've kind of suggested that there might be more places that you can visit in Ontario. So that's a sort of just a persuasive technique to try to convince people, okay, yeah, these 3 places are great, but maybe there's more to learn about that is not in this essay. So that's one of the techniques you can use to end your paragraph. Your body paragraph 2 and body paragraph 3 will be formatted exactly the same way as paragraph 1. So that's why I haven't filled them out for you. If you can see how this one works, the other ones are pretty much exactly the same, just the topic's going to be different. Instead of talking about natural outdoor places, you're going to be talking about the indoor city or town places that you mentioned in your slideshow. And then in the 3rd paragraph, you're going to talk about the cultural events or aspects. So I put this in here because I did have a couple questions. Somebody was asking if you could include food as a cultural event or aspect. So food isn't a cultural event, but it's definitely something cultural. So if you wanted to change this a little bit from cultural events to aspects, yes, you could talk about some of the good food that is included in your province, right? That would definitely be something that would draw somebody there. They can have something to eat that's maybe different from what they've had before. So yes, if you want to include food or other aspects of culture, feel free to put them in here. Okay, your concluding paragraph. So I haven't finished it, but hopefully I've given you the idea here of how this works. So I've left you some words to fill in the blanks. In conclusion, your province or territory goes here. It's a wonderful place to visit when you are in Canada. And then what you're going to be doing is restating your 3 reasons why in 3 sentences. So it's kind of mirroring the introduction in that you list your 3 reasons. Here you're going to be doing the same thing. Okay, so I've only filled out one of my reasons in depth here, that Ontario's outdoor environments are a wonder to behold and well worth a visit. So I'm going to restate this one. Okay, so similar to the concluding sentences in your paragraph, when you restate it, it would be ideal if you can kind of remind the reader of what you've been speaking about specifically. So again, I'm going to list the 3 places that I've discussed in this section. So the outdoor environments, including Lake Superior Provincial Park, Niagara Falls, and Blue Mountain, are unforgettable and would be worth your visit even if Ontario had nothing else to offer. Okay, so that first sentence, again, goes with your first paragraph, and really, I guess more than anything else, it will resemble your concluding sentence from that paragraph. Okay, so your concluding sentence for your second paragraph can go after that. So what you say here should be similar to your concluding sentence from your second paragraph. And then finally, your concluding sentence for your third paragraph will go below that. And then you're done. You've completed your concluding paragraph and your essay is complete. Okay, or at least your outline is complete. So I recommend you do this first to make sure that everything is nice and organized. and then you're going to take all this and you're going to turn it into an actual essay written in paragraph form. So again, I've only completed the first 2 paragraphs here because that's all I completed on my outline. And you can see that it's not much different. A lot of what I have in here is almost identical to what I have in my opinion essay outline, but I have added a couple of things here and there. So I've added some transition words that were not present in the outline to make this flow a little bit better and to make it easier for the reader to follow along with. But largely it's a cut and paste job, and that's okay. If you've done a really good job with your outline, then this should be pretty easy for you to almost cut and paste and just add some transition words where they're necessary. So that's what you're going to be expected to do. I'm going to have separate due dates for outline and rough copy, or at least I'm going to have one due date for an outline and a rough copy. So I'm not going to mark your outline or rough copy, but if you hand it in to me, I will return it to you with feedback. And then you're going to be able to edit your work, change it, hand it in again, and then that final product is what's going to be marked. And I'm going to mark it according to a marking scheme that I don't have here. All right, so here's the marking scheme. So you're going to get a knowledge mark. Whoops, this is not the. Sorry about that. Okay, here is the marking scheme. So you're going to get a knowledge mark for having a completed essay, accurate research and claims about places listed. So everything that you have in there is accurate, and you provide sufficient detail. So that's your knowledge mark. Is it complete? Do you have enough detail? And is what you write in your essay accurate? Are the places that you talk about actually in your province or territory? Can you do or see the things that you say you can do and see in your province or territory? Okay, so think about this as completeness and accuracy. Thinking is going to be about how you structure your work, and if your arguments are persuasive. So this is going to be, are you choosing good places, and are you choosing places that that have things that you can do that would convince somebody to go there? So this is more about, are you making good choices, right? There are many places in a province that you could choose to visit, and you might say something that's accurate, but it might not be the best place to visit. So for example, there are places in Ontario that you might be familiar with, like for example, the Tim Hortons down the street from Applewood Heights. You might go there for lunch sometimes, and it might be kind of good to get a coffee there, but is somebody going to come all the way to Ontario to visit there? Probably not. I mean, it's accurate. Yes, that place exists, and you can drink coffee or eat donuts or whatever there, but it's not going to be that persuasive to somebody outside of the province to come here just for that. So is what you're choosing persuasive, and you argue for it persuasively? The things that you choose to say that you can see or do in these places, are they things that people would like to do? So again, you could say, you can come to this beautiful place and just sit there. Sure, maybe if you can say you can sit there and look at the view, that might be worth, that might be a bit persuasive, but you'll probably need a little bit more. So you'll notice that in my answers I provided activities and things that you can do in some places as well. Communication, do you follow the format of the essay? Are your paragraphs focused? When you're talking about the outdoor activities, do you generally focus on that section? Again, remember what I said is that in your outdoor activities, you might have some things that are linked to indoor activities, like I have with Niagara Falls. I have the haunted houses and things that you can see in Niagara Falls that are indoors. But again, everything is linked to this main idea of Niagara Falls, and that's all linked to this idea of outdoor environments. So as long as everything is connected and focused, and as long as you write in a way that I can understand what you're saying, you should get a good communication mark. Application, as per usual, spelling, grammar, subject-verb agreement. So make sure your verb endings are correct, right? Know when to add an S, know when to add an ing. Your use of vocabulary, sentence structure. So again, try to avoid run-on sentences. Don't have sentences that go on for too long. And how well do you use your transition words? All right, so that's everything I have to say. Have a good day.